Hello guys, so here we are with our second lecture of Python from zero to hero, and in this lecture what we are essentially going to cover is input and output statements. Alright, so these are the most important components of our programming language. We have to get our hands on to inputs and outputs. Alright, so we will see what these are, but before doing that, I want to show you guys another really interesting way of opening Jupyter Notebook in the folder or in the directory of your own choice. Okay, so you can open Jupyter Notebook anywhere you want. Alright, so it will be convenient to use, and in my case, it is easy to manage my files. Alright, by accessing the feature, right, by accessing this magic feature. So how do we do that? We simply write cmd. Okay. So as you guys would have noticed, it is Anaconda's cmd. Alright, it comes with Anaconda. When you install it, alright, so it is installed with the Anaconda. Okay, so you don't have to worry about this thing. It is not an alien looking thing. Just click on it and it will open up. So by default, it is opening up in this directory, or C users del. Okay, but we want this to change directory and come to this one. All right, in which we want the Jupyter Notebook to open. So what we will do is copy this path. All right, simply, and what we will do is write this command for Windows users. Okay, I'm going again. This is only for Windows users. All right, yeah. So yeah, now we are in our E directory, so where we want to open our Jupyter Notebook. So let's just open it. Jupyter Notebook. Press enter, and the Jupyter will open up for you. Interesting, right? We can open Jupyter Notebook anywhere we want to get easy manageability of files. So yeah, so this is our E directory, as we can see, and I want to enter into this Python from zero to hero, and this is the folder I just made earlier, and I want to open this Python 3 notebook over here. So yeah, this is really interesting, right guys? So let's get to work. So today's topic was inputs and outputs. Oh, don't do this, alright? Yeah, inputs and outputs. Okay, here we want to make this a heading. Okay, press shift enter and the heading executes. This is simple. So yeah, first we're going to discuss what are input statements, was essentially output statements. Sorry, what are output statements? Well, essentially output is anything that is displayed on your computer screen. Okay, well, the basic scope of output is far larger than this, but for the sake of simplicity, let's stick to it. Alright, because for our sake and in this course, the output is, just anything that is displayed on your screen is called an output. Alright, it is really simple. So in Python, the output statement is print. Alright, simply print. So anything you write into this print statement will be printed onto the screen as it is. All right, for example, I'm writing this down, and this is a string as we covered earlier because it has these double quotation marks around it. So the string is outputted onto the screen as is. All right, and if you want to print any integer or float, let's say float, it will come without double quotation marks, and it will be like this. And for example, we want to print out strings along with an integer. Alright, we want a combination of those to print out. Alright, what we will do is my age is space, and what we will use over here is a concatenation. This is called a concatenation operator. Right, it concatenates two things or maybe more, but in our case these are just two things on its right and left. Let's say 21, and we'll press shift plus enter. Okay, this is an error, and this is a good sign we are having errors because this is live coding. Right, I have recorded it before. Can only concatenate string, not int to string. Okay, so it is saying that we can only concatenate two strings, alright, but we cannot concatenate two different data types. So how do we solve this problem? It is really simple. We will convert this integer into a string, and here it is, our result. Alright, this is our result. This is really simple. So yeah, after this, let's see how are the different ways we can output string. Alright, string can also be in single quotation marks. Alright, for example, I hate coronavirus. Alright, I do hate coronavirus like everybody else does. So yeah, here is I hate coronavirus, another string. And another way to what we can prefer to write a string is in these triple quotation marks. Okay, so whatever we write in these quotation marks, let me tell you this. Why do we use these triple quotation marks? Because I do not like, let's say, ladyfinger. Okay, I don't like ladyfingers. Well, I do like, but this is our programming. Okay, so yeah, for this kind of output, we will use these triple quotation marks. Okay, because it can get itself the next line. All right, we don't have to specify it by ourselves. But in this case, this is not possible. As you can see, it will give us error. Okay, so the only way we can get this kind of output is by using these triple quotation marks. So moving forward, I want to show you guys another interesting feature of Jupyter Notebook. We can know what the hyperparameters are going to be inputted into this function, okay, by simply moving our cursor inside these brackets and pressing shift plus tab into our keyboard. Alright, it will tell us that what can be the hyperparameters we can use inside of this function. Okay, so yeah, first hyperparameter is our value, obviously, and second is a separator, and third is an end line. So we can press on this arrow, and we can also get a description of everything on why and when we use each of hyperparameter. But and you can explore these on your own. Okay, these are a lot of possibilities, but in this case we can use this end hyperparameter. Okay, we're going to use this, and what does it say? It says string appended after the last value, default a new line. Okay, this is interesting. Default a new line. Okay, this is the default value of this. Okay, so let's try this out. Okay, fingers crossed. Let's try. Now I have started to love ladyfinger. Okay, over the course of just one output. Yeah, and this is funny. So this is our hyperparameter, and it says /n, but we want to give 3 breaks. Okay, let's assume we want to give 3 breaks after this line, and to test this we have to print out another line. Okay, I love ladyfinger, cooked in fine soya sauce. Okay, yeah, I really love to eat some crispy lady finger that has been cooked or fried in soy sauce. So yeah, this is our output. As we have entered three next lines, so it gives a break of three lines. All right. So if we remove this, let's see what happens then. This is what happens because remember we have a default next line and parameter specified. This is why the next output is being printed to the next line. Okay, so this is another beauty of Jupyter Notebook we can use. So yeah, now moving out to the inputs. Okay, inputs, anything that user gives is an input. Okay, anything that we users give is an input. And Python has made this easier for us. All we have to write is input, and that's it. That's all we have to do to get the input from the user. And if you want to display any line, okay, of telling users what to input, okay, because otherwise user would not know what to input, enter your country, okay, and then we can write dot dot over here, and let's see what this does. Okay, enter your country. Let's see, Maldives. Enter. Maldives. Right. Really cool. It takes input and it gives output onto the next line. And why does this gives output? This seems really, inappropriate because we want to input something from to the user and we want to use it for our use. Okay, we want information from the user and then we want to store it somewhere so that we can access it later on according to our needs. So what we will do over here is, let's say, name, and this name over here is a variable, and anything on its right will be stored in this name. In our case, our country will be stored in the name. Okay, so yeah, let's write it down. So Maldives again. Yeah, this is cool. This is cool. Now that the Maldives have been stored into our name, we can simply write name and press shift enter and it gives us the output. Okay, this Maldives has been stored in this name variable. Okay, this is a variable. You can name your variable anything you want to. Okay, like anything. But for the sake of this series, we are going to be following camel naming convention. Okay, what this camel naming convention means, for example, the variable name starts with the lowercase and anything different comes in a capital letter. Okay, name country, for example, let's say England. Okay, this is a cool country. I mean, the temperature is cool, really. There. Okay, so we have England over there. So let's see. This is important that we should know that in what data type we are storing our information. Okay, let's check it out. So yeah, it is stored into the string data type. Yeah, by default, what input statement does is stores your information into string data type. Okay, by default, anything you enter, anything you take input from the user is stored into the string data type. But what if we want to input into another data type? Okay, for example, we want to input into the integer. Okay, for the sake of addition. Oh yeah, this gives me an idea. Let's make a quick program of adding two numbers. Alright, it's quick and simple. So we have learned that we can input anything by writing this statement. For example, enter first number. Okay, dot dot and space. So how do we convert it into the string? Oh no, how do we convert this into the integer for the sake of our operations? All we have to do is enclose this whole statement into an int function. Okay, what this will does is convert any string coming from this statement into an integer, right? Just as we have done over here. Let me show you guys. We have done this already. Where was it? Yeah, here it is. What we does over here, we converted an integer into a string. Okay, so the same thing we are doing over here is we are converting the string, which is by default input data type, all right, into our integer, and we can then manipulate it later. And we're going to do the same for our second number. Okay, input enter second number dot dot space. Yeah, then we're going to have another variable. We can call this add equals number 1 plus number 2. Okay, and then what we're going to do is print your addition results is like this. Okay, your addition results is add, and as we remember that add is our integer, so we have to convert it into the string first before displaying it onto the screen, or else it will give an error. So let's see what this program does. Shift enter. Okay, so our first number is, let's see, 23, and second number is 50, and this is our result 73. Okay, so this is really cool, right? So yeah, let me show you guys another way to add two numbers in Python, and this is only available to Python. Okay, this is native to Python, we can say. Python has a function to offer sum. Okay, what we can do is write in two numbers, and it will simply add up these two, and the result will be same. Okay, so what this does, int object is not iterable. So let's see. Stick up with me, alright? I'm going to show you a whole lot of ways that how we can code and how we can understand to code, how to use sum in Python. Okay, let's search it on Google and let's see what Google has to offer. This is how we code in real time, alright? Well, I essentially know how this sum works, okay, but I'm just to show you guys that how if we got stuck into some problem like this one and we don't know what to do next, what we can do. All right, well, what we can do is simply go to the Google, search it, and search for how this works. Okay, so it gives us iterable can be anything, lists, tuples, or dictionaries. Don't give me this right now, tuples or dictionaries, but most importantly it should be numbers. Oh, this is great. Start. This start is added to the sum of numbers in the iterable. If start is not given, okay, let's see an example. Okay, let's see an example. So yeah, this is an example. Here we have a list of numbers. Okay, we have a list of numbers. Start parameter is not provided. Okay, what if we? Okay, so in first example, start parameter is not provided. Only the iterable is provided. Okay, so start parameter is provided. Start is equals to 10. Okay, start is equals to 10. Yeah, this is great. So from this example, we know what exactly sum does. What sum does is sum up all of these elements in a list. Okay, it simply does that. Let's apply this into our coding. Okay, let's apply this. We have a list 1, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we are going to use the sum function. Okay, we can say that total sum. You see their camel notation over here. So yeah, let's just stick to the point. List 1. Okay, and then we print out our total sum, and it gives us the sum of all of these elements, and we have another parameter over here, start, and we just discover out just covered out right here. The start parameter is the starting value to which all of these values are going to be add up. Alright, for example, if we add up 10 into this, it will become 38. Alright, let's just start equals 10. Right, it will simply add up 10 into it. Okay, it takes no keyword arguments. So how do we do this? Oh yeah, it does not take any keyword arguments. Yeah, we don't have to write a start word. So yeah, here we have our 38 right now. So this is out of the scope of this video, but I wanted to show you guys that if you got stuck in this type of error, what exactly you can do to get out of this, and to not get exhausted, but try to overcome the problem, what the actual problem is. So yeah, this is enough with this video. So guys, if you like this video, please give this video a thumbs up and press that bell icon to never miss an update from my channel. See you in the next video.